But you got match day number 6 coming up against New York Red Bulls Saturday at 7:30 in New York. Surprised it's not a Sunday, right?
It's a different calendar month now. All of March was Sunday, whatever, and Thursdays. But yeah, we're switching to Saturday, Wednesday coming up. 7:30 in New York against the Red Bulls, against a interesting team, coached by Michael Bradley now. He's got some youngsters playing there, a couple 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds that should probably be playing down in the GA Cup. No, I'm just kidding. They're doing well. I mean, all in all, for the different rotation that they have this year and new coach, some young guys coming through, some familiar faces, with bringing back Justin Shea, I think, in the back line for them. And then they brought in the winger, Cade Cowell, as well from Mexico. So some familiar names there across the U.S. But interesting one here, Sam. We're going to be without Dado and without Miles Robinson, like I said earlier. So what are you thinking from an FC Cincinnati standpoint?
Yeah, obviously it'll be missing Miles more than Dado, because obviously Evander's in that number 10 position already. But I think you see, I think probably Hadebe in the back with Miazga, with Hagland. As far as the wing backs, do you go? It depends once again on travel, right? Who comes back healthy? Who comes back ready to go? Do you throw Ender on the side? Is Ramirez ready to go coming off of his camp?
Ender didn't have to travel, right? So we'll preface that.
Yeah,
he got to stay. He didn't travel, with Venezuela, so that helps. But
yeah.
on the left side, yeah. Can we pull for our guy Alvis to get the start now that we had him on this episode?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he deserves a start there, especially if maybe Ramirez is coming back and you kind of want to just rotate him back in, especially he's been not training with FC Cincinnati. So I could definitely see that. What are your thoughts as far as you work your way up the formation there?
Yeah, I agree. Backline is going to be probably what you said. I don't think I'd change anything there. Midfield wise, you got to see how Giddey comes back. Obviously you have Buka local, Anunga's there as well. And then Obi, obviously doesn't travel. So you might want to go with Obi just because of him being local. But I remember there was something that was put out last week. Remember, Sam, I had mentioned in the last episode, Obi picks up a knock late on in the match, against Montreal. I think he was working off to the side by himself. I really haven't heard anything this week about where Obi stands, but his health, obviously is in question. If he's not able to go, or to start at least, you got to put Giddey in there, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Would you go Anunga at all to slot in?
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. He looked decent before when we saw a few minutes from him. I think it was him and maybe Obi that went together, the one time that we did that or deployed that, but having Buka in there, I, obviously like a lot more. He didn't again play, with his national team. So maybe he's coming back feeling pretty fresh too. He's training obviously. So, and there's travel, but this is the one thing that's tough about these breaks, especially with a team that allows so many of these guys to go and to play abroad, is how are they going to be when they come back, and I really think that will change maybe the energy levels going into this one. A lot of the guys locally are re-energized, ready to go. Evander, he gets a haircut. So we wanted to touch on that. He's going with a new vibe as well. Maybe he's a little bit more aerodynamic out there. But yeah, so he'll probably slot in obviously at the 10. And then, you got to run out Denke. And I think you got to run out Barlow. Just with how we've seen him perform. Jabari obviously gets a goal on the last one. But I think moving forward, like Barlow's just been workhorse is, like I said, Tom Hustle Barlow. Do you feel better about him than Jabari at this point, or where are you feeling?
Slightly. Yeah. I'm very confident in both of them, obviously both coming off of goals. So they're feeling good, and coming into MLS play. But I will say that the history of this matchup last year, Ryan, we had swept New York with 2-1-0 victories last season. So we'll kind of see how this one goes, if it's very similar to the 1-goal victory, right? What do you have?
Yeah, I got a 1-0. I'm going with it. I'm rolling with it. Coming off break like this, it's going to be very telling, I think, to see how this defense comes out. Of all the guys that were on international break, obviously Miles is away, but for the ones available, the back line was able to kind of stay, hopefully get healthy. Obviously, Hadebe is the one that leaves, and we have his situation. But if we can get that right, we gave up, 4 goals. No, I'm trying to think. So 11, 14 goals maybe within like a short stretch of time there. Can we, get a clean sheet? How big would that be for this group to do, especially on the road, kind of turn things around? One thing we didn't touch on, Sam, that kind of goes into my prediction here is like Leroux had a great game last match. I felt like with Roman's uncertainty there too. How does that change your prediction? Do you think Leroux, number one, is going to start? And then what's your prediction?
It's a good point. I'm putting together the rotated back line without Miles with an Evan Leroux.
I want to change my answer. I feel like
I know.
I'm going to go like 2 or maybe 3-2. It would be a better
I was gonna go, prediction for me was probably gonna go 2-2. I'll change mine to 2-2. I had 1-1, but I feel 2-2 because of those different factors.
Yeah, I think that there's a little bit of uncertainty there. Whether it's going to be Leroux, I think a lot of people are calling for him to make the start here, and with Roman's unknown situation, like we could see that going on. This team, the last few seasons, has been historically very good on the road. Historic, I think in the last 2 seasons in terms of wins. So,
do you think this is kind of I mean, a little bit. Obviously, you want him to play, but blessing in disguise for Miles. I mean, him with the groin injury, right? He gets another week to kind of rest up and come back a little bit better.
Yeah, no, that's good point. Like, I think the competition was good for him in training, with the U.S. You obviously never want to see your player pick up a knock, and hopefully it is just a minor groin thing. But, I think maybe to kind of reset his mind, I saw Kenta was out there. If you guys had seen, putting some comments about Miles's, recent form, I think he makes some really good points on Miles has had a rough stretch. It doesn't mean he's had a bad season. He started off the season very well, and arguably could have made, best 11. He was doing well, shutting down Tigres. It doesn't mean he's a bad player or that he's had a bad season. He's had a bad week. And maybe, like you said, a reset for him is a nice thing, but both physically, and mentally.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I think that was rhetorical, wasn't it? You were thinking like, oh, wasn't that good for him?
Yeah, that was. I mean, it felt that way, right?
Yeah,
like it could be a good reset. Obviously, red card, don't want that, but at the same time, I would rather not him go out 100%. Coming off of this groin injury, and then you risk something else, especially with the history that he does have.
Yeah. What's interesting, so Red Bulls just came off of a 6-1 loss, so shellacking by Charlotte. Charlotte beat them. Red Bulls did have a red card, so I'll preface that. But they're coming off a bad result. They probably want to kind of right some ships as well. Yeah. It'll be interesting. I think, going up and playing there, I never feel great about it, but we always seem to find some decent results when we play there. What are your, thoughts about playing in New York and at, I think it was called Red Bull Stadium, but now it's like Sports Illustrated Park.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The empty stadium. I think it'll be fine. I think, once again,
we'll have a good showing of FCC people. I think a lot of good fans up there.
Yeah. Once again, it's on a Saturday, so it's a little bit easier travel wise for people to get there and come back Sunday or Monday. So, I mean, coming into this one, I'm just happy we're back. Happy MLS play is back. It was a nice little break. Didn't have much to look up on our end, right? We were like scouring Twitter, like just give us something, and unfortunately we get the Miles groin injury and we're like, oh geez, like that's not what we wanted. But yeah, I feel good.
Well, and coming out of this break, again, for those who missed it last episode, Red Bulls obviously Saturday. Then we have a week break and we play at Toronto. So 2 straight away games. Then we'll be at home against Chicago. Wednesday match against New York CFC, different New York team. And then one more match at the end of the month at home. So a couple away games in a row here. Let's see if the boys can get some good results.